Good morning, One Love Center. Good morning, world. You have joined One Love Center for Spiritual Living. We are located everywhere, but from Brooklyn, New York. And we're joining you today from every place, from the Central America, East Coast, New York, and Florida, and everywhere else. So we want to say thank you for saying yes to being here with us. And before we get even go farther in our celebration, we like to invite you to choose a quality of God that you would love to embrace and feel during this service, during this celebration, or during the week. You know, you can always choose. Isn't that a beautiful thing that you can choose? And that we go with choosing heaven. So now what we're here to let you know is that our mission, our One Love Center, number one is that we welcome you to One Love Center. And we are grateful that you're here. My name is Ellen Suazo, practitioner for Centers for Spiritual Living. And our mission is to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. We envision a world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and development of learning and application of spiritual principles. One Love Center practices compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. Our community has been lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred, and healing service, musical celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual films. Welcome to One Love Center. Remember that if this is your first time here, and even if you have been here before, we recognize the splendor of the divine spirit that is you. Please know that we support you in being the best you choose to be in your glorious life. Thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to a place where love grows. Thank you. And now we bring in the prayer support. We have Reverend Rodney do our evocation, where we invoke the spirit within to anchor our service today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be anywhere. However, it's a pleasure to be here at One Love Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you all for being here with us. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to make a declaration, to declare the very truth of our being and why we are here, especially here today with One Love Center for Spiritual Living. And please join me as we go within. Feel free to close your eyes, unless, of course, you're driving or doing something that needs you to use your eyes, your vision. But at all times, eyes open or eyes closed, we are using the inner vision. And so join me as we go within and know that, yes, there is divinity in our inner vision, that there is only the eyes of the divine, the eyes of God, that sees all, knows all, creates everything out of itself. And so therefore, knowing there's only one, and that means there's one life, and that life is most certainly the life of the Creator, of God, or whatever name you choose to use, doesn't matter because there's only one, that life is individualized at each and every one of us. So I know that is true for myself. That is true for each and every one who is watching or listening to this broadcast, who is, whether it's live or recorded or any of our other broadcasts. So I am knowing that it is the presence of the divine that lives and moves and breathes as everything that it creates. And that right here, right now, One Love Center for Spiritual Living is a divine creation from the mind of the divine for each of its creations. So there is something that is happening here and now, and even in the recording, that has the utmost importance to you, the listener, to the one receiving this message. And I am grateful knowing that with Lita Perez and Ellen Suazo and myself, that there are messages coming forth that is necessary for someone to hear. Not only those who had chosen to tune in, but to those who share the message to share the message to someone who needs to get something from this. And there is plenty, because it's from the land and the mind of good and plenty. And so I bless each one as we recognize that we are related, that there is only one, and we are kith and kin. And that is a topic of our discussion today, of our conversation, that yes, we are all one. We are all connected. And we are all lovable and likable. Whether we know it or not, or believe it or not, doesn't matter. And so we dive into this deeply today, and welcome any comments and any thoughts or any concern, any questions, now or even afterwards. And so I give thanks for the opportunity to, in this way, bring us together, closer together. And I bless each and every one for taking and making and giving the time for themselves and for each other and for all of us. So with this in mind, knowing it is a wonderful, joy-filled celebration of life, I simply allow this word to fully manifest with ease and grace, and most certainly love, because there's only one love. And I affirm it, knowing this word spoken into the law already returning full to overflowing. And I just say it is so good, and so it is, and now it is. Peace and blessings.
Thank you, Reverend Rodney, for that prayer. So, friends, that was an evocation, invoking the spirit within you. That's a form of prayer. We call it evocation. So, anytime you want to ground space, ground a meeting, you can use an evocation to make sure that everything flows with ease and grace, consciously, bringing your consciousness to who you are and whose you are. And so here at One Love Center, we have prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is full of power, charged, and already within you for your immediate use. And what you have to do is that you must contact us, and you can send us your emails at onelovecenter.org, or you can leave us a message at 646-685-3344. And remember that you can also contact our organization, prayer support, World Ministry of Prayer. That email is oneprayer@csl.org, or you can give them a call at 424-235-4326. And remember that all prayers are confidential. So we'll pray for you for 7 days. And if that situation or condition has not changed, make sure that you reach out back to us so we can continue to pray for that situation or condition. Otherwise, we'll assume that all is well. And for those of you that say, everything is good in my life, I don't need I don't have no special requests. Well, maybe, like Reverend Rodney said, you can request that everything continues to flow with ease and grace in your life. That's another prayer that you want to keep on anyway. So that is it for me. And now we bring Reverend Rodney, I believe.
I'm here. Yes. So wonderful to be here with all of you, and a wonderful opportunity to get into our discussion today. And I don't believe I'm doing it alone. We don't do anything really alone. We're talking about being grateful for kith and kin. We're being grateful for that we are in each other's lives and we make a difference in each other's lives, and how important it is. I mean, the overall theme of the month is loving the unlikable, and it's incredible because there is a difference. I remember many years ago, I heard a saying that says, you don't have to like everybody, but you do get to love everyone. And I realize that so much with family, because there's a lot of family. I love them. And then some that I just don't like them. Maybe they say or do things that I don't like, so it becomes, personality thing. But personalities aside, love is our foundation, and that's what always makes the difference. That we get to come from and a place of love to be open and receive and to give the love, regardless of whether we like what somebody says or does. That's because that can change also. So love, however, doesn't change. True love just doesn't change. It's today. It's the same yesterday, today, and forever. It's the love of the Creator, the love of God. Never stops loving us. So anyway, that's what we're talking about today. Kith and kin, the gratitude, which falls in alignment with, as you can see, our frame, our border is Thanksgiving, which I like the word thanks living, because I think that's a great way to give from a place of thanks. And so anyway, and I'm not alone. We have Ellen and Lita Perez. So we're going to talk about being grateful for kith and kin. And I just want to point out that kith is a word that nowadays doesn't really exist without kin. They come together. Originally, kith meant like an understanding of your environment, your community, uh, where back way back in the day, everybody lived in the same community. So it was more of uh, the two words didn't necessarily have to go together because they meant different things. Kith was more of your uh, the relationship of who you are in your area, which also meant your family was there also. So there was a little difference there, but now it just means relations, family, and friends can be included in that as well. Yeah. So, uh, any comments before we get started with the quotes, or we just want to jump in?
Let's jump in.
Ooh. All right, well, let me start it off. First quote by Reverend Dr. Andriette Earl. It says, only by telling the whole truth is reconciliation possible. And it's interesting. I like that because a lot of times we don't even think reconciliation is necessary, whether it's family, friends, or anybody. We're like, later for them, I don't care, but we're not really living in the truth when it comes to that. Because the truth within myself means I get to be accepting, I get to be loving, I get to be understanding. And from that place, I get to see that, it's not just my way or the highway, which is such a popular phrase, and unfortunately a popular mindset where, it's like, I don't want to hear anything somebody says. It's just my way, and that's not living from a place of the whole truth. So anyway, anybody else want to make a comment or bring into the question?
Well, when I saw this, only by telling the whole truth, and the whole truth for me is what stood out. You cannot reconcile if you are not fully informed. So you're only reconciling on what is known. So if you don't know the whole truth, how can you reconcile things coming out later on? Because the truth usually comes out, So if you had that opportunity to know the whole truth right from the beginning, then reconciliation is done for everything, for all of it. So that's when I saw that, I said, well, that's really true. What I saw in that.
What I get from here, in going to my own personal experiences with family and friends and acquaintances, is that a lot of people don't like to hear the truth. They say they do, but they don't. And so what I have learned to do is, as long as I know the truth for me, to know who I am and whose I am, and to know that I'm coming from a place of being grounded, of a place of love. And that's all I can control. I cannot control the outside. I can only control what's in me and what I know about me. And as long as I continue to stand and speak and be and do from that space of truth for me, then there's no. I've been practicing a lot, judging, not judging where others are, because each one of us is in a different consciousness, is in a different level of consciousness. And due to that, some people might be willing and open to the truth, to the whole truth. Some might not, because they're not there yet, and it's okay. So sometimes they might need time for them to get there. And so I think that that's one of the reasons why, Lita, you mentioned something in regards knowing the truth from the beginning. And a lot of times people don't even know what their truth is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the challenge comes in. And so what I would say is, for those of us that are in a higher consciousness, not that we're better than them, because we can see better, but that we can be compassionate.
Yes.
That's what that I can be compassionate for where they are. And so that's why I go back to where I'm at. What is my truth? What is mine to do at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And that leads into the question: what truth in your life needs to be spoken aloud for healing and reconciliation to begin? And I know for me, it's like, as you mentioned, there are some of us who have maybe a more enlightened consciousness because we've done some work, which doesn't mean that we're better than anybody else. It just means that I've uncovered some things about myself. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. It means that, there are times when, hey, maybe I've been jealous, or maybe, that I've felt sense of low self-esteem or low self-worth. And sometimes I can see through that lens, forgetting that I know a higher truth.
Higher truth.
And if I say that to somebody, perhaps they'll take a look at themselves. They can get a lesson from it. And I can say, well, listen, I don't mean necessarily to think against you or take something out on you. However, I'm willing to take a look at it. And that's the truth that a lot of people need to hear. That,
Right.
No, I'm not perfect. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe it was just a personality clash, but it doesn't have to keep it separated. It doesn't have to mean that we're mean to each other.
Mm-hmm.
We just accept each other as we are. Like Ellen said, know the truth about who you are. So it's self-acceptance comes first. And that's love.
Whose you are. I love that part, because she said who you are, but whose you are.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very, very good to hear from my ears too. That's so important. I really appreciate that, Reverend Rodney, that we do have to start looking at the more compassionate for those who haven't yet had that opportunity to learn some of the things that we are learning as we go along. And as we go along in this practice, we grow even more.
It's interesting because with family and close friends, sometimes we may not have as much patience because we're like, what's wrong with you? It's like we can say, don't you know who I am? Or, I know who you are. Or we get mired in a lot of that personality conflict stuff. And most of that is through misunderstanding. We don't have all the answers, and I like, Ellen says, whose you are, that unites us instantly because we all are from the one. And that's where we get to start from, and end, and hopefully in the middle too, You recognize that. Thank you. Let's take on another one. Who wants to start that?
I can read that. Create no images of God. Accept the image that God has provided. They are everywhere in everything. God is change. Seed to tree, tree to forest, rain to river, river to sea, crabs to bees, bees to swarm. From one, many, from many, one. Forever uniting, growing, dissolving, forever changing. The universe is God's self portray. Octavia E. Butler, Parables of the Sower.
Mm-hmm.
What a beautiful quote. Change, the most difficult thing for us, right? Change is hard for some because they're used to the status quo. That's just everything stay the same, you know. So when change comes along, it's difficult for some, but change is the path to greater good, to greater understanding. So how do you feel about that, Reverend Rod?
Well, again, it's in the midst of change. There's still the sameness, and that's not necessarily what we see on the outside. It's not the manifestations. It's what's below it. It's what's within. It says the universe is God's self-portrait. So everywhere I look, I see the face of God. I see, whatever side, could be left side, right side, inside. It's all God, and that's the truth of who we are. And so there is not any one image of the Creator. It's except the images that God has provided. So much of our religious history, it's always humans have done their best to create God in human image. And in some respects, it makes sense. It's something relatable,
Right.
Except that it creates a sense of separation. It creates a sense of yes, something greater, but something unattainable. And if we are indeed the seeds, God has changed seed to tree. Tree comes to the forest, becomes a forest. We don't just stay in this, little human form or human mindset. We are growing. That's a change that we are. And parable of the sower. The sower is not just the one that spreads the seeds, but when we become from a seed to a tree, then we are spreading seeds as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we all get to be, the seed and the sower. We get to participate from the micro to the macro. I always think about seeds of faith, and we always like to talk about mustard seed, which are really, really tiny seeds. It's like a pinhead. Some of them they're so small, but if you plant a mustard seed, you literally will end up with a forest of mustard plants, and each mustard plant has hundreds of seeds. So it's like, there's nothing. It's like there is going to be change. However, it's just going to get more and more. God is always expanding. The universe is always expanding. There's always more, never less. So that's a little bit that I have to say about that.
Ellen?
For me, change has always been, I have always taken it as a good way of challenging myself. Because the more we experience and the more we live, we can see that change is always good because it helps us to grow, to be better, to change from the mindset or the belief systems that I once had. Where I'm at today, my God, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I'm actually grateful for change.
It's good to be grateful. Yes. Well, let's go to the question. If God is change itself, how does accepting life's inevitable transitions become an act of spiritual surrender and trust? We'd love to hear from the viewers as well. You can share it on the comments, definitely share with us your feelings on some of these questions. We invite you to be part of this conversation. So how do you feel about this question? How would it be for you to have this transition? What is truth?
Oh, not that one.
Not that one.
If God is change itself, how does accepting life's inevitable transitions become an act of spiritual surrender and trust? And for me, like I say, is change help us to grow up, right? Because if there's no change, if the seed doesn't turn into a tree, then we get to miss the beauty of the tree. We get to miss the shade that the tree will give us. We get to miss the fruits that the tree will give us. You see, so much missing we're gonna have. So why not embrace change as a way of life and knowing that it is good, regardless of how we judge it? Because a lot of times we have learned to judge things as good or bad. But the reality is that there's no good or bad, because the so bad things that we call bad, they actually help us. They break us through so we can come out of the cocoon and really learn who we really are. So there's nothing bad. It looks bad.
Right.
We have been told that it's bad. But how about if we start looking at the bad as, oh my God, what's in here for me to grow? Oh, wow. What about if we become curious?
That's a great point.
It's interesting. When you mention that word bad, it really does, for a lot of people, mean not accepting things, because we want to label things and judge things and according to how we feel, according to how we think about things, especially if we're not in a mode of surrender or trust. I think about farmers about this time of year. Well, it's like, depending on the climate you're in. However, the season is over. It's harvest time. And now, the fields are empty, and we have to trust that, things are going to get warm again. It'll be planting season again. However, in between is the seeming nothingness, where it's cold and nothing seems to be growing. And that's important too, because there needs to be rest. The field needs rest. All of that, the soil, it needs to be rejuvenated, and all of that happens in the stillness. And what seems to be still now, I might say, the cold is bad. Oh my gosh, and the leaves are falling off the tree and everything dying. But that's only a misunderstanding of the nature of life, which is change. And change is good. It has to happen. We're changing all the time. I mean, I cannot stop my skin cells from dying and falling off. That's change. I surrender to it, whether I like it. I don't have to like it, but it's happening anyway. So that's like part of that loving the unlikable. It's like, well, there are things I don't like, but I better love that my body knows what to do and how to do it and when to do it. That's change. And surrender and trust, sometimes we take it for granted that things change. And it's not a matter of acceptance. It's just taking it for granted because there's nothing I can do about it. That's not really acceptance,
And what do you say to when the change is difficult or challenging? You know, I had to, I shared with both of you, I had a fender bender, or a little bit more than a fender bender, this past week. Certainly, that was a change. I was headed in a direction and I couldn't get there. So, what do you say to those who are struggling with change because it's a challenge in their life? How would you share to them their changes and their accepting and surrender of some difficult or challenging moments?
You know what I would say? Those are times to be still. Maybe you're moving too fast. I don't know. You're the only one who knows. And so that's the time for the way it was coming to me is, and just talking about your situation, what happened. Maybe you were moving too fast. Maybe it's time for you to rest and be still and reflect on what life has been, what is happening in my life. What must I look into? And so maybe the vine is pushing you to slow down. I don't know.
I got to tell you, one of the main reasons I started attending a religious science church center was after I found out about this teaching. I had the Science of Mind magazine. I would read it, just one magazine. I just didn't realize I could ever get another one, so I just kept reading the same one. And after, it was probably almost a year after I had found out about this teaching, I started getting hit from behind. I was rear-ended 3 times in a very short period of time. The third time, something said, let me look in this magazine. I looked in the magazine. I turned it. It was upside down. I turned it right side up, and it said Directory of Churches. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know that was in there.
Right.
So I went. I finally went. I realized that there's a message here. I had a collar on my neck. I go in there, and it just changed my life completely. So after and Lita, after you told me about that fender bender, a friend of mine just told me yesterday that she had a fender bender.
Oh
And
my
exactly what Ellen said. She was moving too fast. She was busy. She didn't pay attention and got into an accident. And she said, well, I guess I need to slow down. She said, I need to be still. I'm like, I guess I don't have to say it. But and so we kind of go through the back door of surrender and trust. Instead of, there are other messages that come to us.
Right.
However, sometimes it takes a little bit more. We end up calling it the spiritual 2x4. Something needs to kind of wake us up to the fact that, we need to surrender and use trust in our thinking and our activities.
Yes.
And that's life.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. I'm not sure how to take this one off, but I'm going to put this back on. I can't put it on the stage. There it is.
Well, yeah, there it is.
Can we change the question?
Not a problem.
Thank you. So, Ellen, you want to take that one?
Respect is love in action by Bangabiki Habiyariana, Pearls of Eternity. Respect is love in action. Beautiful.
Yeah, I want to say that that's true across the board. A lot of times when I first was reading that, I'm thinking about loving other people. And I'm like, well, respecting myself is love in action. Because when I'm respecting myself, I'm listening to the voice of the divine, and I'm doing whatever is necessary, like the previous quote. Surrender and trust.
Right.
Is respecting the message, respecting the voice, even if it comes from somebody else, or the friend I mentioned who was in a car accident. She is taking weeks off of work because she was working so hard and working overtime, and people were saying, "Why don't you take some time off?" And she didn't listen. Now she's respecting that voice from others, the voice of the divine, and taking time to love herself,
Right.
And so that is great.
Oh, I thought that was the question was next, but I'll bring it back to
Well,
that.
there's no question for that.
Oh, okay, there is.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead to the next one.
Yeah.
Reverend Rodney, you want to read that one?
Sure. It says everything that exists is a manifestation of the divine mind. But the divine mind, being inexhaustible and limitless, is never caught in any form. It is merely expressed by the form. The manifest universe, then, is the body of God. That's Ernest Holmes, 365 Science of Mind, page 28. So, what he's saying is, don't like the very first quote. Well, not the first quote, but don't think that what you see is the only expression of God. The form is it. That's it. No, that's not it. It's everything that exists is a manifestation. The universe. Now, when this was written, most people thought the universe is it. Now, we know that we can say there's a multiverse, the biverse, diverse, triverse, it's just endless. In other words, universe, to me, that's just one anyway. However, all of that is the body of God that is ever expanding. So we can't expect that just as we see it, like looking at a picture, that's it. No, there's more to it. There's more than the eye can see. There's more than our mind can see. Inexhaustible and limitless. So I like that. So I like the idea of not taking one planet for granted, like we're the only existence of life in the universe. No. And there's people talking about this comet that they're saying that's not just a comet, it's another, form of life. And people get a little bit unsettled from thinking that there's more to it than we can understand. Anybody else?
I think that is beautiful what you have said, Reverend Rodney. You really cover everything about this quote that we have here, really. It's really, I'm thinking, what else can I say to add to that? I can say all that comes to me is each one of us is a manifestation of God. And none of us looks or do things the same way. So it's beautiful. I think that God, divine love, universe, whatever name you want to call it, is amazing because He created each one of us in our own way and is having so much fun through us, as us, in us, and not just in us, but everything else that is in this planet and all the other planets and all the other universes. For us to think that we're the only one is really a limited mindset. That's what we're doing. We're limiting God to our little mind thinking. And God is unlimited, is infinite. And so when we understand that God is infinite and is unlimited, just to be open to the unlimited possibilities, not just as our planet, but in our own life. What are the unlimited, infinite possibilities that can happen in our lives? What infinite possibilities can we experience? Imagine if we walk around thinking like that each day. My God.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Lita, do you want to jump into that question?
Sure. How does understanding yourself as an expression, not a limitation or happenstance of divine mind, change the way you view your purpose or your potential? So let me read that again. How does understanding yourself as an expression, not a limitation or happenstance of divine mind, change the way you view your purpose and your potential. Well, I have to tell you, when we were talking about the quote before that comes to this question, I was remembering earlier how you said, Reverend Rodney, everything and everywhere is God. Everything is God. And that quote said it, everything that we manifest, everything is God. And the understanding of how we're expressing, how I am expressing myself, is to understand that the changes that are coming along in my life do serve a greater purpose and is providing greater potential for me, to be open to slow down, as you said before, and recognize that. So for me, the understanding of being able to express myself in my strong faith and belief in this practice, this has been such a journey for me over the past 10 years, and only recently becoming a practitioner, because I was immersed and completely immersed and involved in everything science of mind. And along the way, so many changes had come along in my life that I was able to be more open for and accepting, because I realized that everything is God, as you mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And many times we wonder, why am I here? What am I here to do? Who am I here to be? And I have to admit, there was a substantial part of my life where I didn't like myself. I didn't know how to love myself. What a mess. And and coming into this teaching, even before, but what led me here was the path of learning how to love myself and then like myself. I had to love myself first. I'll be honest with you, because there was a lot of things I didn't like.
Right.
I grew up not liking one thing or the other. My hair, my face, my this, my color, my, you name it. And that changed. So that, thank God, that I went through a series of change of learning how to find what I do like about myself. However, I still need to learn to love me first. And then I could accept all the different parts of myself that were just different from other people. Wasn't good or bad or better or worse. And so then I was able to really take a look at my purpose and my potential once I learned not only to love myself, but to like who I am, and again, that word, be grateful for my path. I wasn't always grateful about how I got to where I am. I didn't like all the ways. Like, I'm sure you don't like being bumped from behind.
No, I don't.
It's like, where's the gratitude in that?
Right.
However, there is. Because it can wake us up. It can, like, no, maybe it wasn't. Yeah, God. It wasn't like God said, "I'm going to hit her from behind. She has to stop and take a look at life." No,
Right.
That's not what that's about. It's just about taking that opportunity with that God power within you, and that desire for even greater. Then you look at yourself. You're like, okay, it's not why it happened. However, it happened, and now, I can take a deeper look at my purpose and my potential, and realize that, hey, maybe in some way I was limiting myself. Maybe in some way I was trusting on things to happen as opposed to being a co-creator in my life. So we get to take a look at those opportunities. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thank you for being. I'm not going to say thank you for getting hit from behind, but yeah, thank you for allowing yourself to share that as a lesson for each and every one. And one of our folks who are watching, I think I saw John Boone. Thank you very much for checking in and liking what we're doing. If you have any comments, feel free at any time. John Boone, and thank you. I think he's watching from Facebook, and there are people who are watching and checking in, and we thank you anyway. So
Oh,
What we're going to do next is our affirmations. No, yeah, we're going to do our affirmations. Each one of us can take one. Who wants to go first?
I think
I
you.
could go first. I could go first. So the way we do it is that we take a breath, a deep breath, then we say the affirmation, then we take a new breath, and then we repeat the affirmation. Okay, so let's take a deep breath. It is so that I am grateful for the unique beauty, brilliance, and diversity of my local ecosystem. Take a deep breath and anchor this affirmation. It is so that I am grateful for the unique beauty, brilliance, and diversity of my local ecosystem.
It is so. Take another deep breath. It is so that I celebrate the divine perfection within every relationship, honoring each person as a sacred teacher on my spiritual journey. Take another deep breath. That was beautiful. It is so that I celebrate the divine perfection within every relationship, honoring each person as a sacred teacher on my spiritual journey.
Let's let that sink in for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out. And it is so that my heart overflows with gratitude for all my connections. I recognize that even challenging relationships are blessings that expand my capacity to love. Let's take a breath. Give a breath. It is so that my heart overflows with gratitude for all my connections. I recognize that even challenging relationships are blessings that expand my capacity to love. This is the truth. It is so. And so it is. And now it is.
And now it is.
Now it is.
Mhm.
And as we continue to stay in this mindset, it is evolving, it is arising, it is escalating awareness of truth. And we go even deeper within, knowing that there's only one life. That life is God's life. It is ever changing in this oneness, in its sameness. It's God, it's the same. The Creator is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and is always changing. How powerful is that? That which knows itself so much that it can evolve and change and grow and expand as with all of its creations. And knowing that for myself and for each one that is hearing this, that is seeing this, that is knowing this, that each one of us gets to respect ourselves and each and every one, knowing that there's only one, and therefore the respect is a mutual respect of oneness. It's a respect of kith and kin, learning not only to love ourselves, but to like who we are and like who we are individually and collectively. And we must love one another, regardless of how much we like one another. But I am knowing it's important. I am knowing it is necessary. I am knowing that it happens more than any one of us can believe. That as each and every one of us remove the outer, peel off the layers of disbelief and doubt, of all of the human frailties of anger and hurt and jealousy and all of the things that get in the way of uncovering the truth of who we are. It's all about getting to the truth, speaking the truth that I am divine. And that is the true of each and every one that gets to say, I am divine, that I am love, that I am whole, perfect, and complete. That that each and every one of us gets to love ourselves as we are and as each one is as they are. Yes, this is what we all get to be and do and have, because there's only the one. And it shows up in our relationships. It shows up because there's only one relation, and that is God. And all of the creations of God are all the aspects, all the portraits of God. And each one is just as vibrantly important as the next. And I know this is true of our relationship with health. That we support our deep and abiding relationship with our body, our mind, our soul in healthy and loving ways. I know this is true with every aspect of our lives when it comes to money, when it comes to our ability to receive and to give from the givingness of the divine, that which gives 100% of itself. And how do we relate to that? We relate to it by loving and liking and sharing from that place of loving and liking of the 100% that each one of us has been given. And so I am knowing that this truth continues to circulate and flow and grow and expand as our experience in life, of life, as the one life. I give thanks knowing this is already multiplied. This word is already multiplied and is manifesting in wonderful, harmonious ways, starting even now in ways seen and unseen. And so I give thanks and release this word, because I know the law is already making it so. And so I release this word, knowing it is done in wonderful, unique, unlimited fashion. I simply express it by saying it is so, and so it is, and now it is, right now, even now. Thank you. And at that, we're going to hear more about prayer, about the power of prayer. And here's a powerful prayer right here.
Thank you for that prayer. And what you heard is our prayer. And I just want to remind everyone that you can request prayers. Prayer support can be sent to One Love at onelovecenter.org, or you can leave a voice message at 646-685-3344. Also, you can also send your prayers to Center for Spiritual Living World Ministry of Prayer. You can email oneprayer@csl.org, or you can call the telephone 424-234-4326. And again, we remind you that all prayers are kept in the strictest of confidence. One Love Center has prayer professionals ready, willing, and able to remind you that spirit is full of power, charged, and already within you for your immediate use. Use us. We will pray for you. And now I will bring Reverend Rodney back for the affirmation of abundance. Reverend Rodney, come on in.
Thank you. And I want to add, and thank you, Ulita. Thank you. About prayer, please remember that if you need more in-depth time, you can contact us and we will have a regular session with you, practitioner session, and myself or Lita or Ellen, and we'll know the truth about whatever situation that you're experiencing. It is on a fee basis. However, no one is turned away. So as Lita said, use us. That's why we are here, first and foremost. Okay? And remember, we do this for 7 days. And so if we don't hear from you, we'll fully, know that at some point between the first and the seventh day that prayer was answered. If not, get back to us and let us know, and we'll continue to do our spiritual mind treatment, our affirmative prayer on your behalf, or your being whole. Okay, so I just wanted to share that. So we thank you. We thank each one in advance for your givingness. Thank you. We are Thanksgiving for your thanks living. Living from a place of thanks means that we're able to give. And that's what we do at One Love Center for Spiritual Living. We give from a place, we live from a place of thanksgiving. That's why I call it Thanksgiving. And it's an opportunity for us to give that which has been freely given to us. Okay, so that which we have, it doesn't do any good to hold on to it. And so, in that respect, we are grateful for your donations to One Love. You can use PayPal, onelovecenter.org. Go to our website and look for the PayPal link, or you can use the Cash Me app, which is $ One Love CS. I'm sorry, $One Love CSL. That's the Cash Me app. All right. And also to assist you with your giving, we have affirmation of abundance. And so, as Ellen always likes to say, put your hand over your heart. I say, feel that vibration, feel that life, feel that energy, and that's a part of giving. And the more that we give, the more we get to receive and keep that flow going. And it's really imperative. And also, it's so important to be a cheerful giver. Give from that love. Give from the heart. Otherwise, really, if you're feeling stressed out about it, if you're feeling angry or resentful about giving, then don't. Give from a place where you feel the love, where you feel like, yes, I'm being spiritually fed, and how can I pass that along? And so just feel free to give. Any amount is acceptable, and please know that any amount that you give, the universe was like, oh, well, let me rush in and give you more. Okay? So we have an affirmation of abundance, and let's recite that together. It says, money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. As I share my offering, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gift, more money, and more good. And I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good work these gifts do in our center and in our world. And now it is. Thank you. Thank you. And now I believe we're going to have Leader one of our practitioners to talk about the announcements. What's going on?
Yes, there's a lot of things to talk about. One of the things is our tech support. One Love Center is requesting a member or a technical assistant in managing our broadcast. We could really use your help. If you have that ability and opportunity, we ask that you give us a call at 646-685-3344, or you can email us at onelovecenter.org and help us be part of our service, and bless you and thank you for that. We also want to talk about the soulful getaway to release scarcity, reconnect with nature, and rise into overflow. So what if you chose to join Ellen Suazo on her upcoming destination retreat? This is really exciting. It's going to be a wonderful time. You're invited to be a part of this beautiful adventure at a semi-private island in Pisota, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I don't know if Ellen's available to share a little bit more about it. If you want to come on, bring yourself on and let us know. But it's to reconnect with your essence, rest deeply, and expand in community. So Ellen, why don't you come on and share a little bit more of what you know about this, and would love to have you share more.
Thank you, Lita, for bringing that out. Listen, I want you to go to that link, and on that link, you'll have all the information. If you still have questions that you have, I will be more than happy to answer them. You can connect with me directly. But Pisota is a sacred space, and I promise you, you will not regret coming to that paradise. That was the first place I landed when I first came to Puerto Vallarta 5 years ago, and it was the best place that divine love brought me to. I needed that island. So I want to share a piece of me with you. The magic that happens there, and it's a transformation. It's not just it's adding the beach and the mountains. The whales is whale season, so you will be mesmerized and filled with so much transformation and love that I promise you, you will not be the same when you come back from that from this retreat. So check it out and connect with me. Remember, one thing that I want to say is that space is limited. We only have 10 pushing to 15, okay? But you have to act now because we don't have a lot of space available. And so let us know. Check us out.
Thank you so much, Ellen. I really appreciate it. Sounds exciting. Who would want to miss that? You definitely want to be a part of that. We also want to share about the New Thought Conference at Unity Village in Missouri. That's Thursday, August 13th, Saturday, August 16th. Early bird tickets sales begin on 12/1. More information you'll be able to find if you contact us. You've seen our One Love at onelovecenter.org. Reach out to us and let us know if you would love to be a part of this. This is sure to be a great opportunity. That's in 2026 August. So we look forward to seeing you there. All right, so let's bring everyone back on here. And one more announcement, I think, is the Science of Mind magazine. We really encourage you to be part of our monthly Science of Mind magazine. Members of One Love receive 6 months free. And I got to tell you, it's one of the things that I read every single morning. Every single morning, I am reading from the Science of Mind magazine. And like Reverend Rodney even alluded to it earlier, how that he had that one and he just read it over and over and over again. And for that tells you that it has no time limit on it, even though this says, November. The message in it is just incredible. The things that you'll find out about it, the stories, the affirmations, and the daily guide is just wonderful. So we encourage you to take part in this and be a part of our Sunday service by also having this in your hand when you're watching us. Okay, so Reverend Rodney, what do we have next? I think it's the closing prayer. Thank you.
It's us.
It's us.
We're next.
We're next.
We're up.
Okay.
And we're going to invite Ellen as well.
Oh, good.
And so thank you all for joining with us. Thank you all for we're all one, and sometimes we need to see that we're all one. I don't mean just Lita and myself. I'm talking about John Boone, who joined us, and all those who I can't see their names, but we know you're there.
Reverend Hadra
joined. Thank you, Reverend
awesome.
Hadra, for being here with us. Mm-hmm. We appreciate you. We love you. I love you.
Yes, love you too. Yeah, love you all. And please share this video with people, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or however you can, because I'm sure somebody's going to get something out of it and they'll thank you for it. You want to also say happy Thanksgiving Day, happy, and if you're not into the pumpkins and the turkey and all that stuff, just make it a day of giving thanks, of being grateful. You don't need a reason to be grateful. It's like love. You don't need a reason to love. Just say, I am love. I am grateful, and feel what that is and what it does. Because what it does is the more that you're grateful, the more you get to be grateful about. So you don't have to say, I'm grateful for money or anything. Yeah, you can be.
Yeah.
But just an attitude of gratitude makes such a big difference in your relationship with yourself, with your neighbors, your friends, your family, your relationship with the higher power. All of that rests in gratitude. So, and love. Right. So, any other closing remarks before we go into prayer?
No, I'm good. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm complete.
I'm complete.
All right. So knowing, yes, there's only one.
Mhm.
And it might look like there's three of us on the screen, yet there's only one. And that life is the life of the divine, the life of God, the life of the Creator that has us here as one, that has us discussing, that we are one, that we are all related, that there is absolutely love that is the foundation of who we are, the truth of who we are, and the truth of how we get to live, and that we get to respect each other, even in not liking things and what people think, say, and do. But we're grounded in the foundation of love. And I pass my word.
So grateful for this time together that we got to discuss and to talk about Kith and Kin, and to remember that regardless of our differences, that we can always come back to our oneness, reminding ourselves that change is good, regardless of how it looks in the outside, to bring ourselves back into our essence of knowing that it's okay, or asking the question, what is mine to see here? What is mine to do here and now? And to remember that we're infinite beings and that we are always supported, regardless of the situations, the conditions, the things that we like or don't like. Everything is to serve us so we can continue to expand and to grow into being the people, the beings that we are here to be. Beings of light, beings of love, beings of financial abundance, of health, of joy, of all those great things that we are here to experience. And I pass.
And so today I'm reminded that I am not separate from creation, that I'm a part of this vast and beautiful living tapestry of the creatures, great and small, of the wildlife, of the trees, the rivers, the forests. And I know that this awareness into the world, let me walk gently, honoring this ecosystem that sustains me and respecting the delicate balance. I teach me to notice the beauty, the wisdom, the resilience in every living thing. I am so grateful that I see all this, and I know that what I know for myself, I know for all. Guide my hands, shape my intentions, and deepen my appreciation for all that lives, breathes, and grows and changes in my life. So in gratitude and humility, I step forward, renewed and committed in the living of harmony, in the divine creation that is. And together I say with all of you, and so it is.
And so it is, and now it is. So we have a song, and it's coming up in just a moment.
Okay.
And thank you all for your prayer, for your knowingness of true nature of who we are. And here's the song.
All right.
Yep. One moment. Another moment. It's coming. Okay. Yeah, I promise it's here. It's here somewhere.
It shines through me. Oh, I let joy, I let it live.
It's all there is love. That's all we are, is love. How powerful is that? How powerful we are. And just want to thank everyone for joining us. We'll see you again. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a happy Thanksgiving day. Have a happy thanks living life. So we'll do it again. We'll see you next week. Peace and blessings.